Hey y'all, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week I am in the playroom again. It's getting very close to being done, but I've been working on some storage solutions, a couple of furniture makeovers, and just a couple of little small DIYs that I wanted to share with you guys and to show you how I've organized this playroom in, just the most functional, aesthetically pleasing, yet like still realistic way. And so I hope you enjoy this video. Come along with me as I share with you organization tips in the playroom. Hey guys, so it is 10, yes, 10:17 at night, and I've been meaning to paint this chifforobe, I think you call it, for weeks, and sometimes I get a wild hair and I just want to get that project done right now. So we are changing the color. It's still going to be blue, but it's not going to have these distressed details. And if I hate it, we'll strip it. But I have mixed up a custom color. It looks really blue on camera, but it's actually a really pretty kind of dusty gray blue. And I just mixed up paint colors that I had and made it a chalk paint. This is a chalk paint, so I know I can paint over it. And it's a quick, easy project that I don't have to sand or prep. I mean, you could and you should, but am I? No. So come along with me to paint. I haven't tested this color out, so let's test it out, shall we? Ooh. It's a lot darker than this color is, but I didn't want something that was this bright, but still that looks really dark in comparison. But if I don't like it on this first coat, I can always add a little bit of white paint and maybe change it up a little bit. So I like it, but it's a little darker than I thought. I have a blog post all about making your own chalk paint where I tested all of the popular methods, but my favorite way is to use calcium carbonate, and you just mix 4 tablespoons of that, 2 tablespoons of water with 1 cup of latex paint. Okay, so here is the color in daylight. It's almost teal. It looks good in here because I don't know if you can see in the rug here. It's literally that color that I mixed up. So I like the color. I think it'll work well in here, but I want to maybe add a little bit of distressing or some flower detail. I don't know, just a little something extra, because it's not quite finished, but I wanted to put it back in the space, see how it looks. And I like it. I think it complements the colors in here. And again, it's in the rug. So now let's move on to the next storage solution DIY that I want to do. My daughter has tons of stuffed animals. She's always finding more whenever we go to the thrift store, and people are always gifting them to her, that we need kind of a place to, if we're going to keep them down here, put them somewhere. So this is one of the windows to the front. And I added these curtains from West Elm. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but they have this green trimming on a scalloped edge. And then it's got a subtle green and white pattern. And I just like, how nice does this pattern look with this? You know, they just kind of blend together nicely. And this added so much softness. It's so hard to see with the light, but it added some softness. And because I hate drilling into the areas above windows in our house, I used my renter-friendly hack of using, that's a command hook. I used black spray paint, and then I just used a command strip to hang it on the trim, and then that's just an old black spray painted rod that I had. And so then I got 1, 2, 3 command hooks, and I did this in the living room too, or no, the dining room, because it has a window above, or a shelf above the window. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do here. So I looked in my stash and I found these brackets from IKEA. They can go either this way, or you can put them this way. So they have 2 ways you can hang them on the wall, and hardware on both sides. And I've painted them the same color. They were already painted the same color as all of the trim. So these will go nicely around the window. And then I found this big piece of wood in my stash that I think will go across really nicely. And it doesn't have to cover the whole thing. I should be able to use either way. I think I'll probably do it this way so it's supported a little bit more, but you just screw it in right there, and then you stick a screw on the wall and then like put them into place. So I'm gonna paint this the same color as these, and I do probably need to cut this down to size as well. Just kidding, I just measured, and this monstrosity that is taller than me is still too short for this window. And I need them to be, I need the shelf to be longer, because not only will that give me more storage, but it will mean that I can put the brackets on the outside of the of the frame. So like, I'm gonna use this door as an example. Up at the top, it has these sides, and then I'm gonna need it to go all the way across and then overhang and put the brackets on the outside, because the curtain is on the top of the trim, and that's where I want it to stay. So I ended up getting a pre-primed board, and this will make it easier. So I'm just gonna give it a coat of paint, the same color as the trim. Since I know I will get questions, this paint color is called Stone Hearth from Benjamin Moore, and I have had it color matched at Home Depot using the Behr Marquee paint. Okay, so I'm only going to use one of these shelves. I'm going to paint it in a yellow color, but I've cut down some scalloped trim, and I'm going to add this to the front of all of these shelves, and then I'm going to paint it. So when you're finished putting on the scalloped trim, you can use some wood filler to kind of bridge the gap, because I had to cut mine into 2 pieces, and then you can fill the nail holes, or you can just attach it with some glue and then hold it in place with some painter's tape. But I am using a glove because not only is it super messy to mess with wood filler, but mine is super old, so it's very crumbly. But it was also super late at night when I was working on all of these projects this past week, because the kids were home. It was spring break, and I wanted to reserve the days for fun times with them, going to the park. It was beautiful outside this week. I wanted to let them get together with their friends and just be mom during the day, and then be mom that DIYs at night. So I wore gloves so that I had to spend less time over the sink washing my hands, and then I could just more quickly go to bed, put my paintbrushes in the bag in the refrigerator, and then go to sleep. So I did want to tell you guys that this color was a just kind of a random score. It was a mist tint on the Lowe's Oops paint shelf. If you go to the hardware store looking for paint, always check the Oops paint section. There's definitely one at Lowe's and Home Depot. I don't know about other paint stores like Meyer or other hardware stores that I don't have in my area, but every hardware store I've ever been to has paints that are marked down for whatever reason. Someone didn't want them, they mixed up the wrong color, and this happened to be the perfect buttery yellow, and I can't wait to use it in other parts of this room, so stay tuned for that. But that is an amazing tip for if you are searching for paint. Always check the Oops paint section. But just above the window, we added in this shelf for specifically for stuffies and just very lightweight things. I think this will be a great addition to the room however we use it. And I really like how it adds a little bit more texture and softness up top and fills in that vertical space, but you can still see the cute wall behind it. She has some room to put more stuff. We've got Elsa hanging off Over there, we have this chest that I've shared before in a recent thrift haul. And inside, I have all of their kind of swords and Nerf guns and anything like that, along with kind of dress up stuff like hats and things like that. So that fits in here really nicely. It also acts as a great place to sit. So I'm thinking about putting a cushion on it because it can easily move. And that is just, I love this in here. And then the most recent DIY that I did was painting this chifforobe, as you might call it. It was a blue color before, and now I've painted this teal. And it has this door with 3 shelves. So up top, I've just got a little shelf where I put most of their science stuff if they want to like look through microscope. They have a magnifying glass, goggles. There's just like stuff like that in here. And then there's a science kit. And then these are little things they got for Christmas with their little handheld microscopes. No, those are binoculars. They got to go with these things. They're little handheld microscopes, so those go together. And so this is like a little science shelf. And then next is like bags for my daughter. In this big bag is like any Mickey ears or headbands, tiaras, that kind of thing in there. And then the lower shelf is for her dress-up shoes, and that's a thing of makeup back there. And then we have 5 small drawers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this big bottom drawer. In the first drawer, since neither of them can reach it, this is kind of where I put those things that like you don't know what to do with. So I've got like fart slime, these like disgusting vomiting slime things they got for Christmas, like squishy balls, kind of like things they might get in a goodie bag that they want to keep. I will stick it in here, and if they ask for it, I can say, oh, I know exactly where that is. So that's a tip. If you don't know where to put those things, this has just got kind of some larger like boy stuff. They've also each got one of these squishy balls in here. So I kind of have them just somewhat very loosely categorized. And so this one is for my daughter. I've got, you know, wands, fans, stuff for baby dolls, sunglasses. It's kind of smaller items of dress up. She can just add this in here. Same thing in here. There is, this is more of her doctor drawer for her baby dolls. She's got also some baby accessories. And then down here is my son's drawer. He's got all kind of like inventions and like web stuff, kind of like hero fighting stuff, walkie-talkies, swords, that kind of stuff. And then down here is like the big dress-up stuff. It's just all kind of shoved in there. And then, of course, I have baskets everywhere. So this one is full of Barbie stuff. What I love about putting stuff in a big basket, so you can just throw it in. It's easy for them to keep up with. So not only do I have like large Barbie things in here, but I've got all of the like small accessories too, because it inevitably all ends up together anyway. So just put it all in a big basket. It looks cleaned up and she knows where everything is. And then this one is for my son for like dinosaurs or like action figures, Godzilla, that kind of stuff. And then here's an organization tip that I'm quite proud of. I wanted to hide my daughter's big castle she got for Christmas. So we have it in this tent. When she opens it up, there is her thing. So we can like pull these out to the side, or she can come in here with her little friends, and it is just a good time for her. But then when she's not using it, it just looks like a little like play area, and I love this idea, and she loves it too. Next to that, I have these shelves, and I just have some of my son's kind of, I don't know, things he doesn't really play with, but like just items to display. I have this little basket of all of their little 3D printed dragons, so they know where those are. Again, just kind of more stuff. I have a little basket here of blocks, and this one has Pokemon and like Spider-Man stuff in it, kind of more figures. And then here is kind of accessories to all of his figures, like smaller items. And then these are solely those like squishy toys like this. He's got a bunch of those. Some things are just kind of set out on the shelf, like these are boxing gloves and karate boards to break. And then down here are magnet tiles that they like to build with. And then my daughter's Barbies, since the castle is right in here. Then flipping you back around to the front, you get a sneak peek of this DIY. But I have another shelf that I have painted, upgraded with a little bit of more character and detail. I love how this one turned out. I will have a video on this one soon. But here, I have this old wooden crate I got at an antique store a long time ago, but it has random little games in it. This is Hurry Up Chicken Butt. If you don't have this game with your kids, you're missing out. Things like Uno, Jenga, left, right, center, just smaller games than things like that in here. And then down here is more accessories like little figurines and little ponies, and more figurines are just kind of categorized by items. And so that wraps up this week's video. Stay tuned for the Playroom reveal coming very, very soon. I just have a few items to do. I need to organize a little bit more, maybe purge one last time, and then I have one thing coming for our nugget couch. I ordered a new cover, and then I just the finishing details like artwork and final placement of everything. And just those, again, tiny little touches that bring a room together. And then I will have a Playroom reveal for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for stopping by the mansion. Don't forget to like, hit that bell notification, and subscribe. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.